Hello there, everyone. Today's video is actually going to be about a Yu-Gi-Oh topic today. This topic has come up a few times in our Discord and on the streams, and I kind of wanted to touch on it myself. And Paul here from Team APS did a really good job talking about it, guys. And I wanted to get your all's thoughts in the comments too. I've heard a few of you guys share some of your thoughts with me during the stream, but I thought I'd make a quick video kind of going over it as well. If you guys like today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I read all of your all's comments, and I love that you guys give me some wonderful insight on just the game in general. So, in a nutshell, well, he's going to recap it here, but basically, Konami recently had a meeting with their shareholders, guys, and they're really upset with the game, the current game state. So let's see what Paul has to say here.
So, that's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to. Friendly. I think that's, well, do you have any other small Yu-Gi-Oh news? Because this is kind of the big story of the...
Here comes the big story.
Okay, well, this is the big story of the day, which is that Konami's shareholder meeting thing. People have been talking about this for the last week or so.
Oh, yeah. I've seen videos. I did not click on them. That the Konami Japan, they had their shareholder meeting, and they were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, and the shareholders had some concerns.
They did. They had two.
Big concerns,
two concerns?
guys.
Yeah, do you know what they were?
Big concerns.
They were worried that the game has not made new Cosmos support. I don't know.
No, it was about new player retention. So they were concerned about the game not being able to pick up new players and also not being spectator friendly. So
that's fair. That's
friendly.
Well, what do they mean by being spectator
friendly? Who wants to sit there and wait
so
I'm
gonna actually, I meant to have this pulled
just
up,
to get
but
negated next
I'm going
turn.
to pull up the video where I talk about it, and I kind of had shown up on screen. But
So can I just watch this video and not talk about it?
Let me see if I can skip ahead here just a little
No, we'll
bit.
leave the pod running.
Duel also started on Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Duel Monsters. Yeah, that's what like the physical game is called there. Due to differences in the environment, etc., the know-how of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel cannot be used for some reason, and they may quit. I actually met a player at a Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG tournament recently, and this was the case for them. I, as in like the shareholder that's asking the question. Isn't it?
So like the players were like playing Master Duel, and then they would go and play the real game, and there was such a huge difference in like, I guess the ban list particularly, and what to expect, and I guess it was causing confusions for a lot of players. I actually think that they should add a TCG and OCG mode and not change up Master Duel as is. So that way you can enjoy TCG, OCG, or the Master Duel modes.
Isn't it necessary to consider how to eliminate such cases? Now the next one is in regards to OCG rules and live streams. The second point is the poor appearance of the competitive matches video distribution. Judging from player and online opinions, streaming of official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments is one-sided. This often leads to a decrease in player motivation and new users to play Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Duel Monsters. I think it's connected to the difficulty of surrendering. Surrendering is not currently permitted by the official rules. If surrendering is recognized, it will create a strategy to restart for the next game, and the game may be more interesting to watch.
I've definitely seen people surrender before.
Well, in the OCG, they are not.
So over there,
and here,
I didn't know that.
But in the OCG,
I didn't know you couldn't
it's
surrender in
considered
OCG.
very rude to like surrender.
They can't
not
just
allowed to.
offer the handshake.
So yeah, if I have my combo and I've got.
But hold on, who wants to sit there and play against a Dragon Link player, right? For like 30 minutes, they're doing their combo, just end on the same combo that all the other Dragon Link players end on, right? And you can't play next turn because there are 32 negates.
Got gas and you'd have no hand traps. You have to sit and deal, and I can combo forever and do whatever.
Scoop.
And so so those are the two concerns. What do you think of these two things? Any opinions just off the
They're
bat?
very disparate, but my number one opinion is of course that's gonna be boring. Like watch one person just one-sidedly just mollywopping their opponent and they can't surrender. Like we don't surrender because we want to be bad sports. We don't surrender because we just hate this game. Surrender so you can move on and keep the action going.
Yeah. So this is probably the big topic of the week. So there's a lot to say about it. I'll actually start, I think, with the second one about like the watchability, because the new player thing, I've got even more to say. I'm sure you do too.
Imagine being a new player today
I
trying
think
to play
like
this game.
the one-sidedness of Yu-Gi-Oh is something that has made it. Like when you're playing, you can kind of just tell when someone's won, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, and from that very moment, it kind of just feels miserable to even let it continue. Like when someone's amassed too much advantage, or when someone's kind of just got all the answers, or when someone's like just out of options. So I totally get why they would want to maybe just allow that
Floodgates,
to, like, let's skip that part and get kind of back into the action.
Ash.
So in the OCG they can't do
draw
that. I think that's
phase.
an easy rule for them to change. But
Runic,
I'd say the
banish
bigger
all your
concern with
stuff.
that is like maybe we need to kind of create a Yu-Gi-Oh that feels more back and forth. You know what I
Yes. Yes. That's what I've been saying 8,000 times. If you guys have known me long enough, right, I have always said that I think the game is way too one-sided and it needs more back and forth situations. Some of the cards I made, guys, those custom cards were basically with the intention of trying to promote like a more healthy exchange. But basically Konami's saying the same thing that I was saying. And it's just silly that like one person goes right first and they make this crazy insane board. And then when it's your turn, if you even get a turn, right? You pretty much don't get to play. And that's not how it should be. And that's why I always argue for Maxi. I don't care people's thoughts about that, being against it, because nobody wants to play against crazy nonsense just to go and just to go and can't play at all. Like people talk about cash tier, zone locking and stuff. How is that more acceptable than Maxi? Anyway, let's keep going.
Rush duels.
Yeah, and they don't bring that over here for some reason. So I'd like to know how Rush Duel's doing over there, but like I think they need to like Rush Duel's had the right
Rush
idea.
duels?
I have a question. I'm sorry, this is not related. It's only tangentially related. Will Rush duels be at Worlds?
No, I don't.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Rush Duel had the right idea. I mean, it's similar to Modern Yu-Gi-Oh because like each turn you get like a swath of resources to do a
Right.
lot with. So in that way, it still retains that high octane nature.
But like, you don't get so heavily punished by committing all your resources. And honestly, it is a good thing to commit as many resources in a turn as you can, because you'll be getting roughly those resources back.
Yeah.
And
Sort
that
of.
can just lead, I think, to more entertaining gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's more healthy
I've
back
never
and
played
forth.
Rush Duels outside of the game on Switch. But I am curious, like how a game like that is really played competitively, since a lot of what we know of in Yu-Gi-Oh wouldn't translate. Like, if you don't ever lose card advantage.
Well, you can lose card advantage in a sense, I guess. Like, because if you make the most of what you get each turn, you could probably end up with more than your
Let me go a little
opponent.
bit
But I haven't
forward,
played
just a little bit more.
phase.
Right.
Like, I think less just you can really rein things in by just and like let's kind of, I've said this for a long time, lock archetype, kind of more archetype
Yes.
and type summoning locks and stuff.
Yes,
Like it's
yes,
wild
yes,
to me that
yes,
I'll just
yes.
be playing against some of these decks like Tier on Master Duel, right? And they're not fusion
Yes.
locked. Like it's crazy that the Tier can
It's
make like Roll
madness.
Kalos and Kaleido Heart and then turn around and summon an Abyss Dweller and a Redoer and a Barone.
But my hero deck be like, you can only make fusion monsters for the rest of this turn.
Yeah.
Yo, that's what I'm saying too. I have argued that I think some of these new big cards that are out should definitely have a zone lock. Not a zone lock, I'm sorry. Archetype lock, or leave all the more powerful effects specifically for archetype specific cards and not generic. Because it is crazy that Tournament can do all that stuff. And a lot of the branded other cards, kind of like our heroes, like you said, locks you in the fusions. It doesn't make any sense, guys. And I think Tournament was only as good as it was because of stuff like that and a lot of outside cards out of that archetype that kept them alive.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think like, so because when you let it all just kind of run wild, you end up with the pile decks and the long combos where just people end
Yeah.
on these boards that have like all the generic little things. So I think that you could, moving forward, kind of slow things down in that way. And
I feel like you can actually look to Yu-Gi-Oh's
Slow
past to
things
see how
down,
it's done.
yes.
they're gonna call you a boomer.
But hey, man, We
Increase
watched
the
this
power of
game
older cards,
turn
older decks,
from its
for more
kind
deck
of
diversity.
Edison days to the heavy combo version that it is today. That wasn't a fast change. Just every format, people were trying the new combo decks. They always petered out. And
I see what you're saying.
we got new cards like Maxi that made it even harder for combo decks to play. We start taking some of those cards away through the ban list. We start printing more and more generic things. And over time, Yu-Gi-Oh! Just became a combo game.
And what ends up happening, I think, too, is that when the game gets as power creepy and combo intensive as it does, it means that the answers to said thing also have to get like increasingly powerful. And I think that's where you end up with so much of the polarization effect, divisiveness.
There it is.
Because like either I'm going
It's not fair that just because you lose the coin toss, guys, it's not fair that so much from like a few cards can just make these crazy boards, right? And you have to somehow get over that. And some decks, like a lot of modern players that I've seen, don't like to run trap cards or certain spot removal cards. They just want all gas, all crazy combos, kind of like how Paul M saying there. But I feel like it destroys deck diversity. We need more deck diversity, but it's insane, like how fast and explosionary the game is. With just like a few small pieces, they can just go crazy.
Dude, there's this weird thing, and I've been thinking about this a lot in the last week, of like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are greedy. And here's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Like, you know how, I mean, I'm noticing I'm using this word as like, I've been watching a lot of anime, and like, I know anime characters, like, they'll always kind of describe somebody as, well, it's kind of newer for me, I guess. But like, people will kind of describe another character as greedy. Greedy in the sense, not that like, just I guess it is, it's like, I want everything. I want not just what I'm entitled to or what I'm willing to work for, but more than that. And so I kind of feel like it relates to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because players basically don't like anything that stops them from winning.
Nope.
Whether it's hand traps, whether it's blowouts, whether it's floodgates, people don't like it. They don't like to have to kind of adapt to it. They don't like that it exists. They want it banned.
They want it banned.
But it's interesting because you've got to make these band-aid fixes when things get out of hand. So the card like Dark Ruler No More had to be created as an answer to combo decks. Nibiru had to be created as an answer to combo decks. And in order to make those cards function, they had to add extremely powerful clauses. Like, Dark Ruler No More, your opponent cannot respond to it with monster effects.
Right.
So you end up with this thing where like, okay, Alex spent 10 minutes making this crazy board. I played Dark Ruler No More, and now he can't even respond to it. And now you're pissed off at me because like, that's not fair. Like, I did this combo, I did this board, and wow, this one card turns it all off. But here's the thing. The alternative was, if I didn't have that card, what, you were gonna just be nice to me and let me play? No, you weren't. No, you were gonna negate every damn thing.
Every play, and I would have hand looped you.
Lame.
Yeah, and it just, so it's kind of like, there's...
So lame. That's not Yu-Gi-Oh!
You get what I mean?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a, it's a winner-takes-all game in more ways than one, because almost every game is winner-takes-all in that the winner wins.
Yes.
However, the idea behind most games, you're supposed to be having fun between the like beginning and the end of the game. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, we're also taking the fun. The winner is supposed to actually also have all the fun.
And that's what I mean. It's such a greedy experience. Like where, I need to be able to make I want to get to go first. I want to get to play all my combos, all my extenders, get all my searches, summon all my things, and then pass my turn to you and just completely not let you do anything. You don't get to do any of it. I can negate that. I get to negate that. And thanks to this floodgate thing, you can't search.
Some would argue, because both players will get a chance to go first in a match, that, now it's your turn to have fun.
Yeah, like you'll get to have fun sometimes.
But with siding, we already know that's not quite how that works.
And so like you end up in this game where there's these band-aid fixes. There's the Dark Ruler No Mores, the Forbidden Droplets, or the Lightning Storms and Evenlies, right? These huge board breakers that Konami's had to design to be so obscenely powerful because the boards that they're having to deal with are extremely powerful.
So that's pretty much a good part of what they have to say here. There's a whole extra, it looks like the whole extra 50 minutes of this entire conversation, and I want to, encourage you guys to watch the whole thing. But basically, they're touching on what I've been saying for a long time. I do not like most modern day meta decks because he described exactly the worst thing, which is they take their turn, they make their crazy board, and then like you get just screwed over trying to go on your turn. So it's better to just kind of scoop and move on. Like when I do my replays for you guys, I'm pretty much showing you guys all of my highlights of like, oh, this was a good game, that was a good game, right? But I often have to surrender or just leave the game or just give up because on the platinum and above levels, it's just outrageous. Either sometimes I just, I do brick, but other times it's just insane the amount of hands that they often open up with. They always have an ash or something like that, and the boards that they make are crazy. But anyway, Konami understands this, right? They're not happy with what's going on in the game state right now, and they want to change it. So I actually encourage this. I think we need more cards that kind of force interaction. I think we also need to start moving towards archetype specific powerful cards, and arc locking you in, like how you play branded fusion. Well, you can only summon fusion monsters for the rest of that turn. That's 100% acceptable, and I don't understand why people disagree with that. I don't think that it's right to have like a tier limit situation where you make a powerful, cards and then have all this extra stuff too. That's just crazy. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments what you think. Make sure you guys look up their video, Team APS. I'll try and put a link in the pinned comment below, and I will catch you guys all on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye.